Ladies and gentlemen, we are live fresh from the Detroit Pistons Summer League game. It's July 13th. This your boy this your boy subscribe. So make sure you like and subscribe. Your boy Mike, your boy Con. It rhymes.
That's right.
It's got a ring to it.
Smash that subscribe button.
So the Pistons lost today. We made a huge comeback. I mean, it's not necessarily something too crazy because it's a summer league game. We out here putting on an exhibition to see what we can get out of who's on the floor and who's being scouted and looked at by the Detroit Pistons by Trajan Langdon. I want to give him credit for also having such a good interview as well. Like shout out to Tim Legler as well, because that was a really good interview, and I really liked what I heard from him, just as far as what he was looking for and what he's been trying to do with the team. Reading some things about Trajan Langdon is the one that found undrafted players, and they were like summer league players for the Pelicans. He was a part of the process and part of the Jose Alvarado. I think I said that right? Jose Alvarado, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was somebody else they mentioned, but that he was a part of the undrafted process. So I just think that looking at what we have, especially like your boy, the person you brought up, Aaron Estrada, like, he looked kind of good. But let me get back in order. I'm starting to just get excited.
Yeah, no.
Pistons lost 81-94. Holland, our boy Holland, rookie, number 5 pick. He put up 15 points, 7 boards, 2 assists, and 2 blocks, but he was 5 for 15 from the field. Good Lord. Your boy Bobby Clinton, 13, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and he was amazing, bro. Like I liked what I seen from Clinton for sure, because he just looked like dribble, pass, shoot, triple threat. Some defense, like really actual, like nice defense. You know what I mean? The ability to switch and do certain things. And he shot 3 for 7 from the 3-point line. So that's also a plus. 5 for 10 overall from the field. So 50% out there. Somebody I liked, actually, Jace Johnson. I like Jace Johnson. I like what I seen from him. What?
I told you on our preview. Remember, like, he was a longtime Santa Cruz Warrior. Like I've met the guy. He's a nice guy. Like he's a genuinely hard worker.
Yeah.
But I guess you forgot. Like I in terms of his NBA prospects, I'm not sure that he's like an NBA player. But what you saw today, and we'll get more into it if you want to talk about him. Like, it's easy to understand like why he can stand out in a summer league game, you know?
Yeah.
Because he does like
7 feet.
Yeah, 7 feet, does the direct tangible things, He is a great rebounder. I'll give you that, But continue. Okay. Jace Johnson. All right. No, this is good.
No, I mean, I just like, because he just looks like a hustler, but we'll get back around to it if we do. And he shot 5 for 7. So it was like, like get it out the mud kind of points, like, oh, I'm down here, put back, So I like that. Who was Tolu Smith with the double, ladies and gentlemen. 12 points and 11 boards. So what's you know what? Let me just go down the list, and you and then because you deserve to have your scouting.
Oh no! I'm just gonna say right now, because I want moving forward in this post game show.
Yeah,
I want to remind the audience that I compared Tolu Smith to a slightly more athletic John Lure, and I think that needs to be the comparison moving forward. I think now you understand where I was going with that. Okay,
we mentioned Aaron Estrada. He put up 12 points. And he looked really good with a few of those early threes. Those early 3-pointers, like before it got later in the game, he looked like an NBA player to me. Like we were communicating, we were texting, and I'm just like, he looks like the good version of Cam Payne. You know what I mean? Of Cameron Payne and like the Chris Paul edition of Cameron Payne. I love
how you just referenced an NBA player by referencing another NBA player. Campaign's Chris Paul era.
Yes, campaigns.
Yeah.
Chris Paul era.
Yeah.
Like he became something else. And your boy that you mentioned, Dennis Jenkins, he had 10 points, 5 assists. So
Yes.
I mean, just let's let you take the floor, because I know you've scouted many more than most of us for sure. So you want to go down the list, go back up, start with Ron Holland. What you seen from him today?
I think so. I think so, right? I think let's be real. Yeah, let's be real, right? The guys at the top of the list, they are, for the time being, they're part of the future of the Detroit Pistons, right? Like moving forward. So I think yes, they definitely deserve our attention. So our birthday boy, Ronald Holland II.
Yeah.
My God, do you see that, man?
Yeah.
What he got excited the most for his birthday was the actual vinyl records, right, of Teddy Pendergrass.
Yeah.
19 years old? Are you serious, man?
Yeah. I mean, if
that's awesome. Like I told you, man.
If he got the OGs around him, it could happen.
Old soul. But yeah, as you said, 15 points on 5 of 15 shooting?
5 for 15. Yeah.
Yeah.
Trash.
I mean, I guess beauty is in the eye of the beholder. First of all, even if he had like a Reed Shepherd, right? Like just took over the game performance, like Reed Shepherd had last night.
Yeah.
Even if he had something like that, I would not have looked at it any differently than the stat line he put up tonight. In the sense that, again, for Summer League, for me at least, I like to look at the process over the results. Obviously, if they're like really bad results, then you can maybe say, like, is the process bad, right? Is the way he's going about things. To me, I felt like he put his stamp on the game from the get-go. Like, his presence was absolutely felt. I don't believe the Sixers were defending him in such a way just because of his draft status. Like, make no mistake, as we saw later in the game, like, he had some stretches with some pretty bad turnovers. Mm-hmm. But again, it's because of the cumulative defensive attention that he was drawing in.
Yeah.
I mean, his drives to the rim are just so, I mean, I guess for lack of a better word, I mean, they're so creative.
Yeah.
Like
the one where he turned his back and threw it in the corner.
Correct.
And I think he threw another one out to like the elbow, I want to say, but I forget if that was what happened. I mean, it might have got tipped away, that one.
Yeah. My first observation that I wrote down for Ron Holland was in the open court, like in transition.
Yeah.
When he attacks the rim, it's like rookie year Ben Simmons, and that's a good thing. Okay. It's not just using speed. It's not just trying to use his power, right? Yeah. He has that long wingspan, but you notice Ron has like a nice tight dribble, but it's so low to the ground that when he comes up with force, like defenses, they're already off balance, right? You don't know what to do. Like, am I defending the pass? Is he going to try to go like a sidestep or something? Yeah. Those were like the instances of good Ron Holland, Mm-hmm. As for his finishing, in the half court, though, if you've noticed, and especially that sequence where he got stripped like 3 consecutive possessions, like back to back. Yeah.
He got draked.
He likes to use like that. He likes to use that move. It's like a jab step drive, as if he wants to try to get the defense like on skates. But I mean, to me, again, I'm optimistic. Yeah. To me, later in the game, when you saw it, when he just trusts his first step, let's be real. His first step is going to be faster than a lot of his defenders, even he'll see at the NBA level, right? He can just go straight through and like up and around them, the whole, like the jab something, it's pretty like when it works, but like it doesn't, you don't have to, you know what I'm saying? Like you're just kind of.
But it probably didn't work today because he's not on the floor with the NBA players right now. So he was getting all the attention, like you mentioned earlier. Like he was drawing so much attention. You know what I mean? Yeah. So go ahead. I ain't mean to cut you off. Keep going. I just think that
like with Holland, I think he showed more good than bad. I mean, obviously the bad, but of course anything can be. Well, I say anything, but like the types of turnovers we saw today are obviously correctable. You know, but and some of it is a byproduct of who he was on the court with. Right. You know, like kind of the limitations of his surrounding cast. Not to throw anybody under the bus, you know, but I mean, you saw late in game, like maybe not late, but probably like by right before halftime, they were starting to throw like 3 bodies at him. Yeah, you know, similar to what he experienced, right? Like the woes he experienced on the G League Ignite. Right. But I mean, yeah, I would say I personally think it was a successful debut. Of course, yeah, you'd like to see him finish better, but like the manner in which he gets to the cup, you have reason to believe, right, that again, right, more reps, right? Mm-hmm. He'll get his timing, his rhythm down. Obviously,
build some strength.
He just turned 19, right? Yeah. Exactly, right. Yeah. Continue to build strength, but I mean, these are the types to actually get to the cup in that manner. That's something a lot of players can't do. Right. That is what makes him unique. So again, I am high on him. You know, I like what I saw. Yeah.
So you put they can make adjustments around him now. I would put Sasser out there with him, Estrada, Clinton, and I mean Johnson. But why not? Just to get some boards.
Do we want to stay
boards. Just to stretch the floor? You know what I mean? That would maximize him. So he can do his thing.
Do you have any additional thoughts about Ron?
I mean, I'm not going to like overreact to 5 and 15. You know what I mean? Like right. You said, it's a work in progress. We're pretty much looking to see what he can do going forward. And then I just know when he gets on the floor with the for real like Pistons roster, like Cade and Tim Hardaway and all of them, like those lanes will be right there. And then damn Jalen Duren will be right there. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, oh, he missed. Yeah. Okay. And he finishes. So I'm not completely worried about it. And then like Trajan was talking about, he grabbed Fred Vinson, and Fred Vinson has been already working with Asar. So I'm sure like Asar, but then Ron Holland is also going to have it like the time with Fred Vinson in order to improve his shot as well and make him more of a lethal shooter. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I don't know how long that process is going to take. If it's going to take 3 months, 6, 9 for them to kind of kick in the gear, maybe I need to look something up that shows how long it took for Fred Vinson to actually like have an actual effect on those guys. But I'm just looking forward to that. And I hope it's not a whole year. I mean, if it is, it is, but it would be nice to see some progress by February. But yeah, I mean, Summer League game.
You know, on the broadcast, and shout out Tim Legler, right?
He's
one of the absolute
awesome,
best at breaking down the game, you know, and explaining it in a manner in which, you know, even if you're not like a hardcore, like, you know, basketball junkie, you can understand what's going on. And I actually really agree with what Legs was saying. Like, obviously at the end of the day, like, for example, like earlier I was kind of critical of Anthony Black's shooting form. Like, I understand it's going in, but like, I'm still skeptical because like long term, you know, like the way he winds up and the release, like it's going to be increasingly harder once people start paying attention to him, you know? So where I'm going with this is like Legs said, like, if you look at Ron's mechanics, they're pretty fundamentally sound. Like he looks like he's actually like, you know, gathering and releasing kind of like textbook. Right. I don't know. Like I agree, right? But then they're not going in. They didn't go in last year. So I mean, I don't know if it's just more repetition. Obviously, you know, like you just need to kind of keep getting in like what 500, 1,000 3-pointers up like a day or something like that. You know?
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you really look at his mechanics, I don't see anything that would indicate that like his shot's broken. You know, I mean, I pride myself on shooting mechanics. I'm not gonna say like I'm a shooting guru, but like it looks good. Like
you're a scout. You are a scout. For our watchers, he is a scout.
But one thing actually we're so focused on the 5-15 or so, you know, on offense, and obviously yes, because we do believe he can be an offensive catalyst, you know, at his best. Like I said, I'd like to see him as like an Iguodala type of guy. You saw today in the open court, kind of gives you shades of Andre, right? Yeah. But defensively, like if you only paid it, like I said, right? Because we were only watching it in the lens of we're only focusing on the Pistons. Dude, he's big, he is long and he messes up ball handlers' rhythm.
Yeah.
Like, especially if you think like, oh, look, he got burned, right? Like, and he's now in the trail position. At times, it looked like he was even more like lethal as a trail defender, right? Like, like defending from behind.
Yeah.
You know, he's absolutely forcing them to pick up their dribble and stuff like that. And then he's just forcing like errant passes.
Yeah.
You know, and again, now imagine him doing that alongside like Duren, Asar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty scary.
MB?
What's up, MB?
Yeah. Okay, so what you had something else to add on to that?
No, I'm just saying, like, I am not. I really enjoyed his debut. You know. Oh, and then that one where he finally, like I said, later in the game when he had trusted his first step.
Yeah.
Dude straight up looked like he was levitating. He looked like he flew to the rim. You know what I'm saying? Did you see that?
Clyde
He's still going up. The defender's going down, man. You know, I'm not saying he's like MJ, like he's not Jordan, but you know, he has.
Yeah.
That was impressive stuff.
I thought of Clyde Drexler a little bit.
Yeah.
He used to just
glide.
Yeah.
Glide. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's move on to... no, go ahead.
Go
Close that out. So
no, I'm just saying, like, I'm a broken record, but like I feel like he showed exactly why to me, he showed exactly why I believe he's going to be an impactful player, like in the rotation from day one. Again, not just because of his draft status, and they have to be invested into him. Like, he's absolutely going to warrant the minutes that is going to be bestowed upon him. So
you pretty much took the words out of my mouth, because I was going to say day one or year one. So you said day one. So okay, that's even better.
Which is why, right? We were talking about the other day. Like, I don't think, again, competition is good. Let's figure it out in camp. But I don't think it's far fetched that he could be a starter, like on opening night. Yeah, like I don't. Yeah,
and then he'd be in the Rookie of the Year run for sure. If he starts, he'll be in the Rookie of the Year race, because I'm sure we'll have shooting all around him and Cade. And Cade,
I think you were at work.
Cade is going to be. Oh, go for it. I was at work. What happened?
Oh, you said Rookie of the Year, dude. Matas, man.
Pretty
impressive, man. Yeah, dude. We were high on both G League Ignite guys.
What time did he play? Because I didn't see anything.
Oh, it was like early.
Oh, okay.
I think it was like 4:00 your time.
Okay, let's stay Pistons. Earlier. We don't want to lose nobody. Okay, so let's talk about the star of the show. For me, Clinton. What's your take on Clinton? Because I was impressed. Like, what can he do? You know what I mean? Like, he was dribble pass shooting. He wasn't holding the ball too long. He was kind of doing what we seen Jared Jack asking for before we seen Jared Jack asking for. Like, if you got to take 5 dribbles, then just let the ball go. Usually it's 3 and out. Anyway, at least who used to say 3 and out, 3 dribbles and out. I forgot what coach or what player said 3 and out. Like, if you can't do nothing within 3 dribbles, then move the ball. But it was good to see him say something like that. Like, just keep it moving, so the ball can find its energy. And I just think that Clinton he kind of let the game come to him. He's not Derek Lively, but he gives me those kind of vibes where he's the like overlooked kind of prospect, but he will have an impact, like especially towards the end of the year, like after we've seen a full like year of a body of his work for this team, especially if he gets the minutes. We're going to see Clinton like really be a big deal. Like, man, he was passing good, shooting good, playing defense good, switching good. Like, I mean, a few plays at the end, but I mean, it's like almost garbage time. He just started to kind of fumble a little bit, but that didn't count. You know what I mean? So what's your take on what you're saying from Mr. Clinton here? Because you the one brought him up again. Mentioned him.
I've been bringing it up the last couple episodes, right? Right. Our followers have continuously asked me, like, well, Conrad, if he's that good, why was he a second rounder? Well, just goes to show, right? The scouting process is imperfect, or sometimes scouts fixate on something that maybe is a little bit overblown. And again, what did we say like in our last episode? What did we want to see from Clinton? We want to see the team commit to him playing all his minutes at the 4 or maybe the 5.
Right.
Don't play him as a 3. That's exactly what they did. He looked freaking fantastic.
Yeah, he looked.
I think if you see all his highlights, college, NBL, you can already tell like he has a developing 3-pointer.
Yeah.
He shot it obviously really well tonight. Looks smooth. I think we were saying earlier, before we got on air, like if this really becomes like, if his 3-pointer is legitimately consistent, like it's something he goes to game in, game out, that really does change the dynamic of the Pistons, like the entire lineup. Even before him, I was going to say, like, you can make an argument like the Pistons can have, actually not even an argument, they really could have a real 5-out lineup if they wanted to, like at any given time, right?
Yeah.
Like in no particular order. Cade, Beasley, THJ, Tobias, Stewart, now throwing Clintman in the mix. You know, like Fontecchio, like this is what I'm saying. Like, this is what we didn't see in these last couple seasons, right? Like, they didn't have the ability to play multiple ways.
Right.
And if Clintman, because his athleticism and his 3-ball is what's going to capture people's attention first. But what you also said there in like your recap of Clintman's performance is his passing. And specifically his interior passing. Like, look at that, right? When he's on the short roll and then all of a sudden you think he's just going to try to go up through traffic. No, it's like a wraparound pass. And then Tolu Smith ends up having, right, just like, like a layup or something, or a dunk.
Yeah.
You know, I know you like Tolu Smith. Just imagine instead of Tolu Smith, it's Duren. The possibility, like the ability to actually have high-low passing.
Yeah.
I love Stewart, but like Stewart doesn't make those reads. Like the reads Clintman was making, that's impressive, right? And again, like just think about how it starts now, right? Like the butterfly effect of now how all these other guys are getting like open spaces, either to cut or to flare out for,
What's up, Dwayne? Hope I'm saying your name right, bro. Dwayne. He went in. Holland was okay.
Well, no. I like to, me. I'm a positive guy, right? Positivity, Pascual. I wanted to start out the show with some positivity because there definitely was some negativity.
And he's hitting on one of them. But let's go down the list before we get to the tear down, to a little bit of tear down anyway.
But like I said, if Clintman had stayed in the 2023 draft, he would have been like, he was projected to be a first rounder. So obviously deciding to go play in the NBL actually hurt his draft stock. I mean,
that's cool. Thank you.
I had him still as a first rounder. I had him still as a first rounder this year. So I mean, like, to me, you guys got 2 first rounders, right?
Yeah, because it was like, I'm looking at him while I'm watching him play, and I'm like, did we just damn near have another like situation where we got Jalen Duren after trading with either who was it, the Hornets, I think. But instead this time we got him in the second round. You know what I mean? Like, we got a sleeper in the second round. So I'm impressed with what I've seen. But let's move on to Tolu. So what you like about Tolu? Is he more of a Jace kind of feel for you, or?
I definitely like him better than Jace Johnson. I don't want to make it seem like I hate Jace Johnson or anything. Again, like I said, I'll just do the quick Jace Johnson recap. Like, he's great. He is a true fundamental traditional center, right? You put him by the rim, he'll grab a lot of rebounds, he'll block some shots, and that's great. That's great. But unfortunately, right, like we said, right, it's 2024, it's not 1964. He has, he doesn't have the lateral quickness. He can't really, he's not very effective away from the rim, and to me, that's very problematic. That's why I said, like, I do think he would thrive like in the NBL or in China, right? Go to a league where it's a little bit more half court oriented. But I mean, hey, like I said, he's the perfect guy to bring into these summer league teams to help, the players that you're trying to develop. Tolu, again, I love the energy. I love the hustle. There's always, in my opinion, a place for that. I just wonder, like, as a two-way guy, if you want to bring him in as a two-way guy, I think that's cool. It's just, he made, he a majority of his scoring came off of like, putbacks, and diving to the rim, at Ole Miss. And that's cool. That's great. I'm just skeptical of how well he can continue to do that at the next level, right? Because he won't be boxed out by like 6'9" centers, right? Like there will be more size, there will be more length.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like I like him. I think he's a fine developmental piece. If you want to bring him to Cruise and continue working with him, but like, especially seeing the guys that he was on the court with today, like I'm not giving him any like developmental minutes over Bobby Klintman, right? So
no, hell no, definitely not.
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead, talk about your boy Aaron Estrada. Go ahead, go in on him before we get to these comments because they starting to come in.
Yeah, if I could, again, we have the receipts both on our YouTube channel and our Twitter account. Yeah. I'm high on Aaron Estrada, and I think today, well, you know what? I'm going to bring him up by bringing up another guy too. Let's hold off on Estrada. Okay. Marcus Sasser.
Marcus Sasser. We starting to tear down? We about to do the tear down?
Well, in order to explain Estrada, we need to explain, at least for me, I need to explain Marcus Sasser. Well, unfortunately,
we should plug Dwayne's message.
Yeah, Dwayne.
He said it's what? Get your basketball IQ up, Sasser. You on your last leg. Didn't look good at all. Estrada. Check his highlights. So
this is what we were talking about last episode when we previewed, right? We said, okay, well, what do we want to see from Sasser? Right?
Yeah.
Light him up. Dominate. He completely did not do any of that.
No,
okay.
At all.
And I told you from the start, right? I was just very terse with the guards, and I like Sasser, but I'm just I'm very terse in my assessment of him, which is he's not a point guard. I know this is 2024. I know we're in an era of positionless basketball, but like there are certain things, right, at your position, or like what is your role within that position? So you could slot him in as a point guard, but what is his role?
Right.
And actually facilitating, playmaking, setting like the tone, setting pace, he can't do any of that. Like the worst stretches tonight were when he was playing exclusively point, and they were completely unorganized, discombobulated, right? Things began to settle down when he got subbed out. They brought in Dennis Jenkins.
Yeah. Your other guy.
Right. And then in the second half, this is where Estrada comes in. What did I say, right? Like, how was Estrada used at Alabama? Yes, he technically is a shooting guard. He's a 2 guard, but he was actually the one who did a majority of like the facilitating. He was a setup man, right? Even though he was a shooting guard, and again, when they had a little bit more consistency, when you saw it, he and Sasser were on the court, but the rock was in Estrada's hands, right? I still think Sasser could be really good. I'm not down on him just because of this one game, but it just, to me, it exacerbated his weaknesses, right?
Yeah.
Especially that first quarter. That was my notes about Sasser. Far too many, like either shot clock violations or shots, like force take a shot, like, with 1 or 2 seconds left because he can't get either himself or anybody else. I'd rather you just hunt for his own shot then at that point.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe. I mean,
go for it. Savant said trade him.
I mean, at a certain, he definitely has value. I do believe he has value and interest around the league, right? So again, we're not gonna like completely bail ship on it, after one bad summer league game.
Yeah.
But let's just say the most optimistic outcomes, like we get like the optimal results from all the other guys on the team.
Yeah.
Then he probably wouldn't have much of a role on this team anyway. Right.
Probably not going forward.
Let's say optimal. Right. And that's what I'm saying. Right. Like, yeah, it becomes murkier because right now, maybe it's an oversimplification. To me, he and Jaden Ivey do the same thing. They don't play make. They just go out and get buckets. Right. They just kind of do it differently. But,
yeah,
so, I mean, We'll see. We'll see. Like you said, I wouldn't be surprised if, Jarrett Jack mixes up the lineups a bit. Oh, and speaking, how you said like you really enjoyed that sound clip of Jarrett Jack?
Yeah. Shout out to Mega
Dude,
Hustler too.
He was totally talking. He was totally talking to Marcus Sasser, man.
Yeah. I mean, hell,
that is where that clip was coming from, man.
Yeah,
so I mean, it's a learning experience. It's why, right? That's part of Summer League, right? Figure out what works, figure out what doesn't. I mean, we just, as we discussed last episode, we kind of didn't think it would work with him playing the one exclusively. Yeah. So
let me plug this theory in there, because a lot of people, just from what they've seen from Sasser while the game was going on, I'm looking at tweets, and they were saying, okay, it's time to go try to get Tyus Jones. And you know what I mean? Just to have that point guard position filled. So what's your take on that? Like trade Sasser or maybe hell, I don't know what his contract is. Maybe we could waive him, but maybe trade him and go after Tyus Jones.
To answer that, let's recap the recent bookkeeping of the Pistons.
Yeah.
So we're happy. Bobi will definitely, I think, great. Now he definitely has a direct path to minutes because he is on the 15-man roster. He's not a two-way contract.
Yeah.
Right. So 4 years, $7.99 million. It's funny how it's not $8 million, right? $7.99 million.
Right.
Right. And then Beasley is officially signed.
Yeah.
Right. So right now, given the order in which they did it, the Pistons still have $11.5 million in cap space.
Yeah.
So let's say we want to go for Tyus Jones. I mean, I guess you scratch my back, right? I scratch your back, with the Piston or with the Pistons and the Wizards.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like, what are you giving up to do a sign and trade? Right? Like if
Sasser,
is he really getting more than 11.5 million per year on the open market? No. If you offered like Tyus Jones the full 11.5, then why do I even need to give you anything? You know what I'm saying? Right?
Yeah,
I'm just saying, so I'm not against it. I'm just, as a sign and trade.
Savon is hilarious. he done. He ain't like what he's saying. Give it another game, man. Give it another game or two, bro. He going in on him.
Dude, that guy, he's more than capable of going off for like 30 points, especially in a summer league setting. Right?
He is.
And I mean, like, if ultimately it's a lazy comparison, if ultimately all he is Carson Edwards, like NBA Carson Edwards, you could still stick for a little bit.
Yeah.
you could still stick in the NBA for a little bit.
Carson Edwards.
Yeah, right. So I mean,
yeah, we were mad because didn't Boston get him and then something like that? I forget. Keep going. We're gonna stay.
But I agree. Like I said, Ivy and Sasser, especially, like, we are developing, but we also want to win. Part of developing, though, is having the right players in place. What Trajan Landon was saying, right? Like, in terms of how he approached veterans, right?
Yeah.
Like bringing in the guys that are definitely reliable in doing what they do to help, right, develop these young guys.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying, right? Like Sasser, Ivy, at least until further notice, they're not point guards. They're probably hurting themselves, like hurting their own development, right? Having to do that role. I don't know. It just seems like it's too much. So yeah, I would say Tyus Jones. I still like Markelle Fultz. I would prefer Markelle Fultz, right?
Oh, yeah.
I like still, right, maintaining the defensive integrity, right? Like throughout every lineup.
Yeah.
And again, right, he's an unrestricted free agent. It's the same thing, right? You can just sign him. All right.
What up, though, Joe? Okay, so
what up, though? Yeah.
Right. What up, though? Hey, okay, so Savant, he mentioned it, and that's the next one. That's the next guy. Your next guy up, Dennis, your boy, one of your other boys that you've been scouting. So go ahead and give your take on Mr. Dennis.
I think it's easy to see why Trajan Landon was so quick to already directly sign him to a two-way contract, like not even having to let him go through training camp.
Yeah.
Again, I don't want to like shit on Sasser, but you're now starting to see the contrast, right, in terms of the things that the team needs.
Yeah,
right?
Priority. Yeah.
I think I tweeted something to the extent like, if you look at it, like the old way of looking at a point guard, right? A floor general.
Right.
You can tell when Dennis Jenkins is out there. When I say play with tempo, it's not just necessarily he plays fast. He can establish tempo, right? Like he is actually, like Sasser was way too reactive, right? Like he was letting the defense dictate what he was going to do. Right. Jenkins is actually like, being assertive, right? What he's also doing is he can set tempo on the defensive end. You notice, right? Like, especially like when the Pistons like got a steal and like a fast break, it's because he's forcing, right? He was forcing the Sixers, right, into either hurrying up their action or forcing like a reset.
Yeah.
So those little things, right, that over the course of a game, that can really have like a big impact, right? So I understand, like, yeah, I think that's, to me, the main reason as to why they made an early commitment to him on a 2-way deal. So, I mean, I like him. Obviously, he's as one of the most experienced, like, rookies, in this class, having been like 4 or 5 years, if you include the COVID year, so between him and Estrada, a lot of maturity, even though they're rookies. So.
Yeah, because Estrada looked really like good until throwing up.
And again, as I said right to you before, like Estrada's 3-pointer was very hit or miss in college. Like it was definitely going down tonight. It looked good. I like that he shot it with confidence.
Yeah, he did.
Speaking of confidence, holy shit, Bobi Klintman. I mean, that dude was just like stepping into it, man. And that's what I'm saying. Can you imagine, like, if he is really, I mean, I'm not saying he's going to be like a 50%, like, like trail 3-point shooter, but dude, if that is something that's part of his repertoire, that he can like confidently just like step in. Because think about that, right? You knock down a 3 at the top of the arc, then you're already in defensive position.
Yeah.
So these types of things, right? That again, over the course of a game, changes everything, changes the geometry of the court.
And even like that moment where he was going up for the board and just knocking it back out. Like I swear he was like feeling kind of like Derek Lively to me a little bit in certain little small moments. You know what I mean? Like just an energy guy, or just like a guy that comes through and makes that extra play that gets us an extra possession or gets us another good look just with his passing ability. So I was just like, damn, like I wonder what he would look like with the starting unit, or just with, one of the like the top 7 through 8 guys, like in a rotation with those guys. I wonder what he would look like for real. Like that, he's gonna be good, man. Like I already see it. I see it in game 1. So, I love what I've seen from him. And is it anybody else you wanted to highlight or that we should be paying attention to?
I did take note of. I mean, he struggled from the field, like shooting, scoring, but Wendell Moore Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Like he was the salary filler in the Bobi Klintman trade.
Yeah.
I mean, until further notice, I'm gonna, out of respect, like he is on the roster. So let's treat him as such and evaluate him like.
Shout out to Wendell Moore.
Well, no, I mean, okay. See, I think this is.
Go ahead, flex.
Too often, I think fans we do this where, like, there was a reason why he was a first-round pick.
Right.
Now, it's easy to just write him off and say, like, scouts were wrong, fans were wrong.
Yeah.
It doesn't translate. I mean, if you look though at how many setbacks he's had because of injuries, I'm not sure. Like, it's okay if there's a logjam and the team needs to move on. It's fine. You part ways. But to simply say that, like, he can't do what they envisioned he could do, I'm not even sure that he's really had the opportunity to show he can't do it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Obviously, offensively, it was not clicking today. Defensively, though, that's exactly what made him a first-round pick, right? He's like 6'5", 6'6", right? But he's got like a 6'11", 7-foot wingspan, and just a very versatile defender. He was very
for that.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, I don't think they're, again, if they need the roster spot, I understand he's likely going to be the first one waived. But I'm just saying, like, there is something there I think they can work with, so far as if they want to, right? I believe he's entering the 3rd year of his rookie deal. Obviously, they can always just like not pick up his 4th year option and be done. But until then, I mean, There's always like development projects on every team. I don't mind it being Wendell Moore. Like I think there's still some potential in there. I'm not so sure about, like the playmaking, the shot creation.
Yeah.
But at least defensively there is. And so, I mean, I wish him the best of luck. Like it sucks because like, for example, like last night I was watching the Wizards play.
Yeah.
And again, not to pick on him, but like Johnny Davis to me, he's not an NBA player.
Damn.
Like
another haymaker by Con.
Like, no, seriously. Ask any Wizards fan. Is there a single thing he does well at the NBA level? And the answer is no. Right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not there yet on Wendell Moore Jr. But again, I can understand, like, you don't need to put so much thought into it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so much more talent ahead of him. But
and I'm gonna say something real quick, but I'm gonna just throw out there. Y'all got any questions or anything y'all want to throw at us? Go ahead and do it now, because we gonna cut out here shortly. But as far as Wendell Moore is concerned, like I like his defense, and I'm the guy that would like to acquire like Matisse Thybulle. So why the hell not just have Wendell Moore in the meantime? You know what I mean? Just for defensive purposes. Send Wendell with Sasser. For who? Who do we get? Go ahead, fire up a trade finder real quick. Let's have fun. But I mean, maybe Thybulle will be able to be acquired with those two. I don't know what Thybulle makes, but I would love to have Thybulle. He's like one of the top Steelers thieves in the league for real, and he plays really good defense on the perimeter. I felt like actually when Philly traded him, I think when they acquired Harden, that messed them up. They should have beat Boston. They were up on Boston, and if they had Matisse Thybulle to stop what Boston was doing on the perimeter, that would have actually helped them win the championship. Not to switch up to Philly. It's funny we played them today, but like I would. We need defense. We do need defense in Detroit. Like defense wins championships. We need that, especially the way the East is going. It's becoming more offensive juggernautish. Dame being with Milwaukee and the Boston Celtics having who they have, and like Derek White showing up on offense, Drew Holiday showing up on offense, Porzingis showing up whenever he wants to, just the whole team. Brown, Tatum, we know we can go down. So we have to be able to develop our offense, but also maintain a level of defense too. So if that's what Wendell Moore is, if he's going to be a defensive specialist, I'll take it in the meantime. You know what I mean?
And I think that's what I'm saying. I think that's something, if he's going to find a way to stick, that's got to be like his calling card. I'm not saying like just completely abandon working on your offense, but I mean like that is what's going to have to stand out, because clearly he's not the point forward that I think they hoped, that the Timberwolves hoped he would be or something like that,
Yeah.
So I mean, but before we wrap up, let's talk about what the Pistons should not do. Okay.
Okay.
So all these stupid, let's be clear. Okay. When you see the word Pistons and Knicks in a fucking report, okay, the interest is one-sided. Okay.
Yeah.
There is no mutual interest of the Pistons wanting to trade Duren or first of all, if they were going to give up a big, it would probably be Stewart, relatively speaking, right? It would be Stewart first. But I mean, no, like there's a reason why like the Knicks or the Lakers, right, want Duren and Stewart, Again, supply and demand. There aren't that many good, talented, athletic bigs available, and two, there is definitely like a need for it, not just for those teams, league wide. So why are you going to give like two of like, like the up and coming bigs
Knicks
now, especially that too, think about it. What could the Knicks even offer you? I don't want Julius Randle anywhere near this team.
OG Anunoby or nothing. Hang up the damn phone. Shit.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah. Then the game was horrible. Then we went on a run, 14-2 run. Then it slowly, after I want to say midway through the third, started to get away from us late in the third. And then we started seeing some nasty plays from Sasser. We've seen Brian Holland get jammed up a few times, of course. I know everybody's probably still talking about that, all those turnovers. But Bobby Klintman, if you go watch anything back from this game on League Pass or whatever, watch Bobby Klintman. He did really well, especially if you can see like a breakdown of all of his possessions, just possessions, like where he touched the ball or had something to do with the plays. Yeah, he was very impressive.
Dude, Bobby looks really tall.
Yeah, he does.
You know what I'm saying? Like most of the times, right? Like it's like okay, this guy's listed as 6'6", but you see him up close. He's like, yeah, he's probably like 6'4.5". Bobi's listed at like what, 6'9", 6'10"? Dude has got to be taller than his listed height, man.
He looks 6'10".
Yeah, like he looks taller than whatever he's listed at. I'm like, dude.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think, as I've been saying before, like, right, they're rookies. We'll see where their path takes them, but like there is legitimate reason. Like you're okay to feel excited about these two rookies. I think, yeah. I think they're both going to be like. I think they both have the opportunity to be impactful contributors to this Pistons team this upcoming season.
I'm just trying to look up when the next game is.
I feel it's like Monday, right?
Is it Monday?
I think so.
That's sucky.
But yeah.
Yeah, but we'll try to tap in Monday too. I might have some obligations Monday, but we'll do here.
But and before we wrap up,
6:30 too. Yeah, I'll try to tap in. We'll try to tap in Monday post game, even if it's short, even if it's a short. Yeah, and so y'all make sure y'all get in with us. We'll interact with y'all and just we'll vibe with y'all even harder.
I agree, Savant. It says Ron, Bobi, Dennis were his favorite.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't agree more. I throw in, obviously I like Estrada a lot. I would push for him to get one of the two-way contracts, right? Like I think
easily.
Because he's like,
go for it. And then
no. I was just gonna simply say, like, he's definitely like a nice, solid plug and play player.
He looks well, minus what we thought of Livers on defense anyway. He looks like he was what we were missing. And I know it's the summer league, so they don't have NBA talent standing running them off the 3-point line and stuff like that. But yeah, Klintman looked like Klintman and Estrada kind of look like what we wanted from Isaiah Livers. So it's just like, hell, if we can get that and they're actually like converting on their shots, then that's what we needed then. But instead we have it now. You know what I mean? So I'm with that. I'm definitely with that. But thank y'all for joining us. You got any more before we go?
Just real quick. Obviously, as a player, when he was a player, I was a huge fan of Jarrett Jack. By all accounts, it sounds like he's like kind of climbing up the ranks of the coaching hierarchy. So I was really happy to see, he looked very authoritative out there in a good way.
He did.
Seemed to like, players seem to really respond to him. But I bring that up because between him and then the recent announcements, right? Luke Walton, right? Will be joining JB, coming over from Cleveland, and Kevin Burleson.
Yeah.
Right. Who I'm glad people actually knew him as Nate Burleson's brother. That's pretty cool. I mean,
hell, and if they didn't know, he looks just like him.
I know, but I'm like, hello, Nate Burleson. Dude was like on my fantasy team, like how many times? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But no, I mean, like, obviously, like, how do you evaluate a coach, right? I mean, other than like if you have a past reputation, but it seems like I really like that. It seems like a very nice, well-rounded staff. That JB Bickerstaff has put together. I like, in the sense that other than Luke and what's his name, Sidney
Lowe, I believe.
Sidney Lowe.
Yeah,
right.
I believe so. Yeah.
I like when you bring in voices from outside of your inner circle.
Yeah.
Like it's nice to have like different ideas thrown off. So it's not just a bunch of yes men, or not even just yes men, like people who have been around JB for so many years that now you're all thinking the same.
Right.
I like that. Right. You just like you want versatility on the court, you want versatility on the bench.
Right.
Also the coaching staff. So especially
with Jarrett Jack being already basically incumbent, you know what I mean? Because he's been here. So Jared can say, well, this has worked in the past. So maybe you can put your spin on it, but this a work, coach, like this right here. For what it's worth, if I recall correctly too, right, before Jarrett Jack retired as a player, his last stint was as the veteran presence for the G League Ignite,
So, again, it's just one of those other like kind of connections. He understands the transition that Ron Holland needs to make, like I feel like, it's optimism in the sense that like all the resources they need for this Pistons team to be successful, it seems like it's in place. So let's hope it all comes together now.
Wayne going in. He said, let go of Sasser. Got to be a daily shooter. You got to be IT.
I mean, I don't disagree. I don't disagree with you, Dwayne. I'm just saying, like, Trajan is a savvy. He's not Danny Ainge in the sense that he's going to be like, try to suck your blood. But, like Langdon is a pretty heads up businessman, and I think he's got a knack for these transactions. What I'm saying is, I think you could do better than just waiving Marcus Sasser, right? I think you could probably get something for him, even if it's like a second round pick,
Yeah. Yeah, send him to the Hornets. They need him. Send us Brendan.
Actually, wait, they got your guy, Taj.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Right.
Shit, I wanted to keep Taj. Taj made Wiseman look better. So that lets you know he.
But to be fair, I think the veterans that you have brought in, I think, for the most part, they can set a good example.
Yeah.
So
and produce.
Yeah.
Like Paul.
But
Reed.
The next game is
Monday.
You said Monday against who?
I
didn't have this pulled up already.
I think it said Houston at 6:30. Yep.
Yes, the Rocket. Okay, that'll be interesting. Oh, okay, cool. Ron Holland versus Reed Shepherd.
Yeah.
In terms of the marquee, the featured players.
Yeah, so we might go live Monday. Hell, we might need to start early because I got to do. I got the obligations. But hell, we might start like after the third quarter or like a little after halftime. But y'all keep up with us. Make sure y'all sub and hit that notification as well and let your boys know. And then tap in with us too. Y'all want us to tap in on something? Then let us know. We'll talk about it because we see y'all comments and we're gonna keep on connecting with y'all.
Absolutely.
But meantime,
subscribe.
Yeah, please like
and subscribe. We'd appreciate that. And look forward to rapping with you guys again.
Yeah, it'll be Monday. So yeah, let's hope for Sasser to do better or go home.
We said we're not going to overreact, man. So it's just a reaction, though. It is a reaction.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Thanks for joining.
Have a great night, everybody.